What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices: the ability to faithfully settle in the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see you too. So look, check this out. The title of this video is going to be on the fact that a lot of us associate our exes with a certain type of energy, right? And I'm here to help people become a little bit more aware of the fact that energy only operates in one way, but you have a lot of people who, use all sorts of analogies and mythical things and, their way of thought and how they believe to see life, to train it to go a certain way. And if it worked for them, it worked for them. Hey, but again, personally, I see it in a way where your old energy that you used to associate with that stops you from becoming the person you're supposed to be today is usually associated with the title X or the past. That's how I feel. But at the same time, personally, for me, I feel like that person is not entitled to that certain energy. You feel me? Because people can change. People can grow out of the darkness into the light. You know what I'm saying? And be able to look at life in a different way. But again, it's about that person. You know what I'm saying? That old ex energy, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want no parts with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to associate with it because I want to aim towards the life that I know I deserve because of how I felt operating in that X energy. That X energy is associated with lying, manipulation, emotional manipulation, finessing, doing drugs, running away from yourself, just a whole lot of things that really weren't making my soul happy for real. You know what I'm saying? And the people that also operated in that energy, you know what I'm saying? I don't penalize it on them because now we're in a season of growth and change, which means you can choose to step out of that energy if you want to, or you continue to stay over there and your life will be on this like repeated hamster cycle. You know what I'm saying? And again, before I get deeper into my video, I say that to say because listen, I said this in a past video and I'm gonna say it again. Ashanti and Nelly were together for a long time. They broke up. They let a certain amount of time go by because sometimes people have to learn lessons that they need to learn on their own. And now look, they're back together happy as ever, So again, understanding and realizing that it's up to you and your heart and what you want in your life. But you knowing who you are have to realize how to grow in who you are to separate yourself from that old energy. And for me personally, I'm to a point in my life where I have learned what I needed to learn to be able to separate myself from old energy of people still operating that way that want to attach themselves to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm hit with it every single day. People that just so badly don't like their lives that they want to attach to mine so bad, but they want to bring that old energy to it. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of things that I did with that X energy that I don't do anymore. You know what I'm saying? Clear-minded, sober. I need to be able to see, feel, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate everything that comes into my life. I don't need my mind clouded. I need to be able to think. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I don't hate on nobody else and where they're at in their life. You know what I'm saying? I also have processed and went through the ability to handle my insecurities. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's a lot of what keeps people trapped in that old energy. It's just easier to stay over there. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really focuses on people being themselves. It's more so like, let's all play this acting game. You know what I'm saying? And pretend. And we all pretend and you know what I'm saying, act like we're happy, but we're really not. You know what I'm saying? Because you only really know what your soul needs. You know what I'm saying? You personally. So it's up to you to figure that out by basically just learning your past and knowing deep down inside the areas where you've done things on a repeated hamster wheel that don't make you happy. Figuring out how to cut them out and cutting off anybody that wants to continue to aid in that way of thinking or operating. Because again, if you stay attached to people that want to operate in that old energy, you're not going to be able to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be easier said than done. It's going to be something that you know you need to do, but it's going to be harder to do it because you're around people that are still operating like that. You have no one in the group or in your circle who's operating on the energy frequency that you want to be on. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot harder. So again, I feel as if your past, your old life, when you finally evolve and you grow and you want something better, you know what I'm saying? You know that you deserve something better. I've experienced something better. I've experienced the life that I wanted for myself in my life. I did. You know what I'm saying? The marriage, you know what I'm saying? The house, the car, you know what I'm saying? The good job, the good Christmases, the spending money, the vacations, the having fun. Like, I'm gonna just be honest. Y'all don't even understand. From the time that I got out of being incarcerated until, you know what I'm saying, early 2023, I had some of the best times in my life at that period in time. And personally, I feel as if I was having a chance to, you know what I'm saying, get a version of how my life could be once I figured out how to purge the part of me that I hadn't yet healed. And that's why I'm going through a backdrop of what was, you know what I'm saying? And it's okay, you know what I'm saying? It's not that bad. I want it to be better, but I know that, you know what I'm saying, I'm going through a process right now. So I just have to accept it and make the best out of what it is, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I do. But I ain't gonna say it's not irritating. I wouldn't say stressful, because I don't really be stressed out, but it's irritating, you know what I'm saying? So again, it's kind of like having to process and go through, you know what I'm saying, all the feelings and emotions of dealing with that X energy and being able to, you know, accept and receive things that are gonna help me, you know, stay where I need to stay in the life that I want. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a process. You got to think, if you're projecting or want things to go better in your life and you ask for them and then you get them, but you don't know how to cut off certain people that are stuck in a certain loop, I promise you, they're gonna be the cause of your downfall. And let's just say, I'm gonna call it a spiritual downfall, because I've come to realize that the life that I was living was brought down by people I was connected to who didn't want to see me happy. You know what I'm saying? Listen, y'all, I had got proposed to. You know what I'm saying? I had a fat ring on my finger. People who were around me, blood or not, didn't have anybody. So, of course, spiritually, they're going to try to make sure you don't be happy. They're not going to say it to your face. You know what I'm saying? But they're going to spiritually try to make sure that doesn't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You're doing good in your life. You have all the things that people around you want, and they don't got. So in your face, again, they're not going to say it to you directly how they're unhappy with their own life, so they don't want you to have nothing. But spiritually, they're having conversations with other people of how, you know what I'm saying, they're not happy for you doing better than them. You know what I'm saying? And spiritually, people don't be realizing those conversations, and you still being attached to those people is the reason why your life is going to be put back to where theirs is. And they know that. You know what I'm saying? That's why when you start going down the ladder, they start coming around more. You know what I'm saying? Because they actually spiritually predicted your downfall. You know what I'm saying? And once I started to realize how life in the spirit is so much more of reality than the life that we see every day. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how they want us to see it. So therefore, we can't see what is taking place in the spirit. When your mind is clouded, when you're high all the time and you don't dream, you're actually taking yourself out of the spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying? Of how your life could be. And once I started to realize how that makes sense, because I was still stuck. You know what I'm saying? In that X energy. I was going out, I was drinking, you know what I'm saying? I was getting lit, and then I was coming back, and I was asleep, but I wasn't asleep. It was like a crazy kind of experience that's hard to explain, but it was something that made me really uncomfortable because I didn't feel rested. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I was just laying there, but I was asleep because time went by, but then I don't feel like I got the right amount of sleep. You know what I'm saying? So again, for me, I feel like everybody has the option to choose on if they want to deal with that X energy or not. You feel me? The choice is really yours, but don't label it to a person, because people can sweep out the X in their brain, you know what I'm saying, and be able to come back into your life as a new version of who they are. Because I noticed that when I evolved and I decided that I no longer wanted to deal with that X energy, everybody fell away. Even though a lot of us never had no face-to-face, you feel me, issues. But I understand it now. That's because they were operating in that old energy still, and it was comfortable for them, and I was a threat to that. So in their mind, anybody that's a threat to that energy has to be taken out. You know what I'm saying? So in order to keep myself safe, I had to be able to detach from them to be able to grow in who I am. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like I haven't given up on anyone. I believe that people can change. Y'all just couldn't do it with me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to do it on your own, or else you're gonna take my evolving process as a joke. You know what I'm saying? So I truly believe that as we move forward in life, a lot of people will, come back. They say don't let the past end, but I don't think people really understand. It's the energy. You know what I'm saying? But because I've worked on myself and I know who I am, it's sort of like if I smell one scent of that old energy, you know what I'm saying, I am going to cut you off. You will be X'd out. You know what I'm saying? You will have to take exit stage left. You know what I'm saying? So again, you got to realize the old energy is agitated, extremely aggravated, that I don't know why people can't walk away, but they don't want you to walk away, so they do stuff to try to irritate you on purpose. You know what I'm saying? People be knowing what they be doing. It's kind of like you feel me, don't want to see you leave, but don't like that you are leaving. It's complex, so they start tweaking. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be laughing, because I'll be like, listen, you just battling your own self. You know what I'm saying? I don't got nothing to do with whatever it is that you're going through. But again, it's almost as if these are the things that they don't want people to know. So people be trying their best to like get me to be quiet, you know what I'm saying, not talk. But again, my videos is for people that come across them. The people that come across them, they will be meant to see them. And the people that don't, then shit, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? But this is a form of creative art therapy for me. You know what I'm saying? So really, I could care less about how another person feels about it. You know what I'm saying? So again, knowing and understanding that everybody goes through an evolution process where they weed out the old energy on their own. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it takes people separating themselves from you to be able to figure the lessons they need to learn, to be able to get to a place in their life where they're content with you being themselves, because they're being themselves. But there are a lot of things that are being done away from you that you can't see, especially when you evolve. Some people are still so stuck in that old way of life, like they'll study and copy and mimic you because they're attached to you, and they'll try to live your life like how you was living it to try to get what you got. You know what I'm saying? But again, the old saying goes, it's in you, not on you. So it's not something you can mimic and copy. You got to go in within and find it yourself, and find your own special niche that only you have. And that is how you are able to connect with people, because again, whether people admit it or not, that's what attracts you to a person. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, that old energy I was in, of course I'm gonna attract people that smoke and drink, you feel me, and get fast money and we acting, because that's the energy I was in. You know what I'm saying? But when you get into this new energy, it's about me. What can I learn from you? You know what I'm saying? How can we grow together? You know what I'm saying? How can we make the life we live in better together? Which means I don't know everything, you don't know everything, but maybe you know things I don't know, or I know things you don't know, and we come together and life grows like that. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I said, people have to get themselves out of that old energy. You know what I'm saying? It's the energy frequency that anyone can be in, but anyone can also grow out of it too. You know what I'm saying? I'm living proof. I'm an example. But again, they don't like that because they're still stuck there. So they'll try to attach their old energy to you. And that's where you test your boundaries. You know what I'm saying? That's where you become stronger in who you are, because you don't allow it to get to you. Otherwise, they'll try to beat you into self-discovery of who they are before you. And then by the time you get there, they gonna make it seem like they learned it first. No, you didn't. You know what I'm saying? So it's all a test. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to understand that it's not a competition when you growing inside yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because people all grow at different speeds. But again, a lot of people who are still stuck in their old mentality, you may naturally get attention that you really don't even want for real, but they want that. And that's why they mimic and be what people want them to be, because they want that. And it's how the envy and the jealousy comes, and the people start mimicking and copying you and trying to, you feel me, figure out where you get your source of energy from. Let's do what they do so we can come like them. That's not how it works. Do what you do. You know what I'm saying? And become like you. You know what I'm saying? But again, when you're someone that has evolved, I can kind of understand coming from a place where nobody really knew who they were. Now it's kind of like, okay, we're seeing and experiencing something we've never experienced before. Someone who actually made it out of what we thought to be the life. You know what I'm saying? Now it's kind of like, where do we start? Where do we begin? But don't hate the person that made it out, because that's how you stop yourself. You know what I'm saying? Now you're hating on someone else. That's not the rules of the spiritual laws. You're not going to grow like that by hating on someone that found their way out first. The best possible thing to do is to grow inside yourself. So now you can find the connection between, you know what I'm saying, that person, especially if y'all had a connection together. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of my friends, a lot of my family members, you feel me? The relationships I was in, you know what I'm saying, all come from that old same energy. You know what I'm saying? But again, when you do the work, you can have another chance. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's almost as if, okay, do I want to take that chance, or do I want to make them be the same version that I've always seen them as, and try to come in and really don't change, but try to just see if I could get into? Absolutely not. If I were you, I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the journey comes in, because you grow a resistance to that. Don't come in trying to play, because I'm a no. You feel me? I've been new. This is exactly why we don't talk, because every time you try to come in with that same bullshit or that X energy, I smashed it all the way down to the ground. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of like, oh, she ain't changing. She's still the same person. We actually probably need to really do the work now, because she ain't going. You know what I'm saying? So, again, you got to realize that the X energy is the energy that we've known. You know what I'm saying? It's what wants to keep us stay there, to keep us trapped, because we're easily controlled in that energy. We do whatever we're told to do. Whereas when you're operating for yourself, you do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You create the life that you want for yourself, despite what people may think or feel about you. I was genuinely happy, bro. I was. And a lot of people will come in who are not happy for you. And if you don't know the difference between who's acting, you know what I'm saying, and who's really happy for you, that energy is sneak in straight through the cracks and you won't even know. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's a complicated process, because a lot of times we're awarded the things that we ask for in life, and then we get them, but we're not emotionally ready for them. You know what I'm saying? So now we have to go all the way back down, do the work, and hopefully can grow to a space where we're able to have those things again. Because again, how I see my life for the future is really my own interpretation, but I really believe that it can happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to, listen, I really don't like to be around people for real. I really wish I could go in the woods and hide from everybody and just be myself, right? But the type of energy that some people embody, people just don't like it, but gotta be around it, because they're trying to find their way in a world where they're lost, but they don't want to change yet. So they try to attach your old energy to you still, as if you're still that same person. You know what I'm saying? And when you're not, it kind of like forces them to, you know what I'm saying, go into a space where now they have to do the work. You feel me? I didn't ask for this, but it's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So again, I feel like sometimes people will take one situation that they've been in with someone and like hold that against them for the rest of their life. You know what I'm saying? And that creates a feud between you and somebody for lifelong, for something that you could have sat down and talked it out with that person. You know what I'm saying? And to heal. So therefore, you know what I'm saying? You don't grow up with that pain and get older, because people don't realize, I've said it in past videos, a lot of the illnesses caused in your body is because of your frequency not being where it's supposed to be. You feel me? Your energy is all out of whack. Everybody got it and you don't know how to stabilize it. So you got all these illnesses and things in your body because of the things you shoulda, coulda, woulda said, but you didn't. All the ways that you stopped from being yourself to try to fit somebody else's story, because you didn't feel lovable, you didn't feel wanted, you know what I'm saying? You didn't feel comfortable in your own skin. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that energy is becoming to a point where it's now time where it's fading away, or else this, what we're currently going through in life, wouldn't be happening if that energy was supposed to survive. But there are people that want to live in it still so bad, they don't want to let it go. But you got to understand, that's their own personal experience. You know what I'm saying? But they'll try to attach it to somebody else because they, again, you grow in numbers. Misery loves company. You know what I'm saying? When you're alone and you by yourself living in that energy, it's kind of like not fun. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like now you got to sit with all the things that make you unhappy. People don't like that. They like to infect other people with that same energy so they could feel like they're doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Instead of really just being by yourself and figuring out what you like, what you want in your life. And if it threatens somebody else, oh well. You know what I'm saying? My favorite saying is, when the casket closed, you're going to be the only one in there. So who cares about, you know what I'm saying, what somebody else like? Because people will do that. They will come into your life and have so many opinionated opinions about what you should be doing with your life, even though you live in a life that's making you happy. You know what I'm saying? And when they can't do that by the words, they start to spiritually attack you. You know what I'm saying? And you're being pulled all different kind of ways because you don't know how to protect your energy. You don't know how to preserve it for yourself. And I promise you, it really take you being alone to take back all the cords that you lend out on a daily basis. That's how you get stronger. So then when you do get around people that's being negative about how you live in your life or who you living it with, it won't even affect you. It'll roll off. You know what I'm saying? Spiritually though. Not just physically, but spiritually too. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be able to enjoy whatever time with them and then go back to your home, your forefront, the life you made for yourself, and be happy. You know what I'm saying? Because I think something we underestimate is the fact you can't make everybody happy. That's just not logical. It's not possible to make every single person happy. But you can make yourself happy though. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be willing to understand that whatever you want in your life, you can be whatever you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do. But be mindful of the people and the lives that other people haven't lived, and the routes they should have took, but they didn't. And so now they trying to make sure you don't take it either. That will stop you if you hang around it for too long. You feel me? So you just got to know when to tap into yourself, you know what I'm saying? And let go of the beef, you know what I'm saying? Let go of the standing feuds. Forgive, you feel me? Move forward. Because I know, like, in my culture, we are holding on to a petty beef for a long time. You know what I'm saying? One of your friends or your cousins or something say something behind your back to somebody else. You'll hold that against them every time. Y'all all be at the family function and you won't talk to them simply because you couldn't sit down and have a conversation. You listen to what somebody else said. And now, you feel me, y'all like 50, 60 with this same beef. That's stupid. That's dumb. You feel me? Because when y'all die, that beef is going to be non-existent at that point. And y'all ain't never going to come back. You know what I'm saying? And life just going to keep going on. And then all the grandkids and the younger generation, all they going to talk about is how these two people had this beef for so long. Even though they good at like, it's stupid. It's dumb. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to talk it out, you feel me, and come to a desired agreement, you know what I'm saying, to be able to move forward in life. Because one thing that's not guaranteed, because we only get one, is our life. We as the people make this world go round, but we only get one chance to do it. You know what I'm saying? While everything else flows. The money, the cars, you feel me, the houses. Somebody comes in and make a new edition of a car. You feel me? Every year. Our kids, their kids may make a new edition of something else. So that's going to keep going on. But you only get one life to live for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I personally don't want to be sitting with a bitter beer face complaining about all the things that coulda, shoulda, coulda been when you coulda took a simple conversation. You know what I'm saying? A simple understanding of detaching away from that old energy. I don't want nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? If we not getting to a place where we're at peace, because if you really think about it, I don't have no beef with nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is no physical beef with nobody, because that wasn't how I lived my life. I'm not trying to hang around you to talk about you and throw you under the bus, you know what I'm saying, and make it seem like I'm better than you. That was not how I operated. So there is no beef. The only beef is because people are still in that old energy and someone has evolved out of it. You know what I'm saying? So they want you to think that nobody likes you so that you can humble yourself back down to the energy that you've been operating in all your life. It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too peaceful over here. I like it over here. And I'm going to get everything I see for myself in my life going forward. And I cannot choose to operate in that old energy, because then it'll be a fake, you can have this, but we going to be throwing you under the bus behind your back. You know what I'm saying? Like, just imagine someone marries you because of the person you really are, but they're not that. And so then they portray a certain image to everybody outside. But when y'all at the house, your house is not a home. It's actually a cemetery, because you dead as hell in there. You feel me? No. You know what I'm saying? I want my outside life just to be as happy as my inside life. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to be willing to understand the energy that you embody and you carry is full circle. You can't be this energy this way. This is not how it don't work like that. And it takes a lot of evolving. You know what I'm saying? A lot of spiritual work to be able to manage your own energy. You know what I'm saying? To be able to have what you want in your life. You know what I'm saying? And everybody can do it. Everybody is capable of doing the work that I did to be able to evolve. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy, but you can do it. You know what I'm saying? If I can do it, everybody else can. That's why I don't have no enemies. That's why I don't hate nobody, because I know you can. It's just, if you don't want to, you not. If you ain't trying to grow, you won't. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only thing that's going to be stopping you. But you can't be mad at me because I don't want to hang around you because you just don't want to grow. What am I supposed to do? Keep hanging around you so you could tank my little life? No, it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people have a hard time processing that because, like I said, misery loves company. If I'm unhappy and miserable in my own life, I want everybody to be around me so we could all be unhappy and miserable together. And if you are growing, I'm not going to tell you to your face that I'm not happy you're growing. But I'm going to spiritually say it in my mind and have conversations with people who hate their life too. And we're going to talk about how you growing, even though you belong over here. Hey, that's messed up. That's messed up because a lot of people be really wanting better for their life and they can't seem to get to it because they hang around people that really smile in their face but don't want to see them happy. You know what I'm saying? You were stronger over here when you feel like shit, when you ain't worth nothing. You're stronger over here. What makes you think you deserve this life where you happy? You don't even know what that feel like. You want it, but you don't even know what it feel like. We don't want you to have it either. So come over here with us. And I promise you that dictates a lot of people's life. And they can basically smell a better life for themselves, but they're too scared to reach out and grab it because they have the wrong people attached to them. You know what I'm saying? And they're not ready to let them go because the wounds and the feelings that we hide under, that comes from just being a human, of wanting to be accepted. And they come easily damaged when you're young. Say like you suffer from abandonment or, you know what I'm saying, not feeling loved. You know what I'm saying? Even though you know the type of person that you really are for real, but it's so hard to be a person that wants better, that loves, because people are so comfortable with you being this dark person. You know what I'm saying? You fit everybody's mold when you're like that, even though you know you spiritually killing yourself because you deserve something more. You know what I'm saying? It's now time for you to make the choice. You know what I'm saying? To live the life that you want. Otherwise, you ain't gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna continue to live a life where you're completely unhappy. And that's not satisfying at all for no one. I don't care who you are. You know what I'm saying? You cannot continue to grow if, for one, you are holding your own self back and you're unhappy for someone else. Those are the two things that's not going to help you grow. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to understand no matter what speed and pace you're on, it's your own speed and pace. Everybody's timeline is different. They got us thinking we all gonna grow at the same time. We all supposed to be doing what everybody else is doing. No, I am not a robot. I'm not an NPC. I'm Deidre, and I was born to be myself. I just didn't know how to do what it took to get there. Now that I know, you feel me? I'm not, listen, I'm going to stand on exactly who I am. And I'm not turning around. I'm not, you feel me, attaching to people that don't want me to be myself. It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that everybody could see that for themselves as well. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's time that we start to understand if we want better for our lives, which I'm pretty sure everybody does. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to know who you are. Otherwise, that life that wants you to not know who you are is really gonna make you unhappy. I don't care how much you're trying to stay in it. I don't care how much you're trying to stay over there. It's really making you unhappy, for real. You know what I'm saying? You really want to grow out of it. You just don't know how. So it's easier to just stay over there. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that to yourself. It's now or never. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we're doing the work, but the results are slow. You know what I'm saying? But we just got to stay focused. And I say that to say, like, the more we stay working, the better we're going to become. So with that being said, I just seen on the internet that Russell Westbrook just signed a deal with the Sacramento Kings. Let me tell you, the last time we had a bomb team is when Bobby Jackson, Mike Bibby, and you feel me, all those players played. That was the best that the Kings did. Now to see that Russell Westbrook signed to deal with the Kings, hey, we might have a turnaround. We might see some, like the beam. You feel me? So again, you got to think about how your energy impacts other people. People are going to want to come to where the energy is great. You know what I'm saying? People are going to want to come to where the energy makes them feel good. Otherwise, I now understood why as a teenager, I used to be like, how come Sacramento's so big, but it's nothing really going on here? Because we had a dark cloud over us. You know what I'm saying? And now that it's slowly being removed, people are starting to see us now. You know what I'm saying? And that brings people here. You know what I'm saying? And it livens the city up. It makes the city better. I don't care who's dark and don't want to see it be better. I grew up here. I wanted to see it better a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? But now it's just at a point where the universe said, time is now. I couldn't make it happen back then, but I can do it now. So listen, do the work or get left behind. The choice is really up to you. So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, or subscribe.